So this is a Sterling Eccles Quartz, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker you have your gas bottle with your gas regulator on the bulkhead and your gas pipe work coming to the top of the bottle. You have a reverse throw fitment that goes into the front of the bottle here, so you need to turn the opposite way to a bottle cap, for instance, to release it off the top. And then you've got your open and close on top of the gas bottle. Open is gas on and closed is gas off. The gas bottle will be coming off at the end of the handover. It's just there to demonstrate everything is working on gas. You can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane bottles at any point on board the caravan, and we do recommend you run propane as the caravan has been set up for it. You've then got your water pump connection on the side of the van, very simple to use. Pull your trigger at the bottom here to release it outside the van, and release the pump, and push in and release the trigger to lock the pump in place. The pickup pipe itself drops directly down inside the act roll and completely into the water in the barrel itself. You do need to make sure that pickup pipe is fully submerged before you turn the water pump on. Down the bottom on either side of the van you'll see 2 holes, one on this side and one on the other side, and that is where your wind down bar goes into. And it winds the legs down to the ground to stabilise the van. They are only there for stabilising, not lifting the caravan. You've then got your heating and hot water flow. You release the cover and pull the cover off, and you need to do this prior to igniting anything on gas inside of the caravan. It is essentially the gas flue for when you're running the heating and hot water on gas. You've then got your battery box. We've got a battery on here as well just to demonstrate everything's working. Again, we'll remove that after the handover. And you've got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, and behind this power switch you've got your motor mover power key, which again we'll demonstrate here on site in person. Coming further down the side of the van, you've got your motor mover and wheel nuts. We'll demonstrate the motor mover to you here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts before you leave site with the van so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Coming further down the side of the van, you'll just find your toilet flush tank. You have to open this up with the key and put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette. You release the toilet waste cassette by pulling it out the cassette. You've got an orange neck here that turns out 90 degrees to tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid, and on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Below that you've got your 2 grey waste pipes, so the fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan comes out the side here. You have 2 bits of grey pipe that go into these larger diameter holes here, and that is just your wastewater from the sinks and the shower. Go to the back of the van, you'll see your 2 wind down legs on the back of the van. Again, they are just there for stabilising, not lifting the van. And coming down the door side, behind the door, you've got your 2 fridge vents. 2 fridge vents, very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And behind the top one, you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. Underbed storage at the front, barbecue gas point, and the last wind down leg. Going on to the inside now. Above the door, as we come into the caravan, you've got your master power switch, so master power on. You've got an indicator here to say that we've got mains power coming into the caravan, and the same in the top, the left-hand corner here. You've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. Your battery select, so if you're towing down the road, you need to have it on vehicle battery. You need to come inside, hit the battery select button, and it will swap over to the vehicle battery rather than the leisure battery. And then you've got your view levels, which will bring up the levels on each of these power supplies when you are travelling down the road or when you are on site. The first thing you're going to need to do when you come into the caravan is fill the water system up. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the van, you will find, hopefully, a yellow valve. You can just about see it there to the right of that grey box. That yellow valve needs to be flat with the floor to fill the water system up, and upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat to drain the water system down. So as we're going to do now, we're going to fill the system up, so it needs to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment. Once that valve is flat with the floor, you can then start filling the water system up. One thing I'm going to show you just before I do that is the main fuse boards and the 12-volt fuses in the caravan. You've got master system shutdown, so you press this button and it pops out. It'll isolate all the power to the caravan. You've got your 12-volt fuses on the bottom left-hand side here. Then on the top right-hand side, you've got your reverse polarity for when you're in some European countries. Your battery charger, which needs to be on at all times. Your space heater main power switch, which you'll need on for the heating to work on electric. And on the end here, you've got your electric water heating. you will need to have the electric water heating switch on to warm the water up on the electric. If that switch is out, then the water heater will not warm up on the electric water supply. So once that button's on, the water system is going to start warming up. Once we've got the tap in the right position and we've made sure the water heater is either on or off, depending on what you're doing with the system, you're going to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system, which is to the left hand side. The blue's worn off on this side, but it is on the right hand, red on the left hand side here. Open all the taps up fully on board the caravan, and then come to your water pump switch. When you turn the water pump on, the water is going to start flowing through the system. Now, because you're supposed to drain the caravan down after each use by putting the taps in the central position and open up the yellow valve underneath the seat, you're going to need to fill the system up. So it's going to start spitting and splattering to start with while it gets the air out of the system. And once the system's full, you're going to have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan, and then you can shut all of the taps back off. A few seconds after, the water pump will turn itself off. When you want to warm the water on gas, you have a control here on the right hand side of the caravan. Spin the dial round to the flame symbol, this outer grey dial with the tab on the side, and essentially then you'll get a green light appear in the back of here. The green light is an indicator to say the gas system has ignited. You will get a red light appear if it fails to ignite. If it does ignite, you've got a control here between 30 and 70 degrees of water temperature to warm the water up to. Now, you will need to use the gas to boost the water system while you're showering on board the caravan. If you try to use the electric to warm it up, when you're showering, it will not warm up quick enough. To turn off the gas supply, you spin this dial back to the off position on the right hand side here. But like I said, the temperature of the water can be between 30 and 70 degrees on gas. Below that, you've got your main power switch, your operation switch for the electric heating. So you've got your main power switch below the seat on the fuse board, but then you'll need to either select with this outer grey dial 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. Here on site we can run a maximum of 500 watts, that's what we're going to set it to, but depending on what caravan site you're on, it may go up to 2000 watts. If you ask your site office when you arrive on your site on your holiday, they should be able to advise you of what to set this to. You can control the temperature of the heater on this dial in the centre between 1 and 9. Obviously, the higher you go with this number that is over the green light, the hotter the heater will get. To turn the heater off, you spin it back to the off position and it will turn the power supply off to the heater completely. You've then got the actual heater itself. So the heat for the electric side will come out of here, or the blown air vents, which I'll explain in a moment. But you can also run the heating on gas. So this dial on the right hand side top here, you can spin around to between 10 and 9. Hold down the gas valve if the gas is turned on, and if it ignites on gas, which it has, as you can see, just in that window there, it means it has ignited on gas. Sorry, I can't quite see it, sorry, in this video actually, sorry. There we go, just there. It will take a few attempts to ignite, but once it has ignited, you'll continue to hold down the gas valve for 5 to 10 seconds, slowly release the valve, then control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. You spin it back to the 0 position to turn off the gas supply. On the top left hand side of the heater, you've got a fan speed control here for your blown air heating. The dot in the centre indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. You can have continuous blown air should you wish to, by putting it on the wave symbol on the left hand side, and then the heat will come out these vents around the caravan. And if you want automatic blown air, so it cuts in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan, you can have it on the A on the right hand side. I'm just going to leave the blown air heating on so it puts a bit of cool air around the van, or the blown air fans on, just so it cools the van a little bit when you arrive on site. So that is your heating and hot water systems. You've then got the fridge. Fridge is very simple to use, power button on. Screen will load up. As you can see at the moment, the fridge is trying to ignite on gas. If it fails to ignite on gas, it's going to flash the blue light here at the bottom. If it stays ignited, it's going to keep the blue light here. It'll come up with a 9 and a spanner symbol also to let you know it has failed to ignite. To change the power supply you want to use, you press the button on the left hand side, and you can go to mains power if you're on a mains powered site. And on gas or mains, you can control the temperature of the fridge on this button on the right hand side. The more bars you have lit up, the colder the fridge will get. You've then got the option to run 12 volt mode. Now 12 volt mode is for when you're towing down the road, and it will depend on whether it works or not, to whether you've got the right connection on the back of your car. If you haven't, then it will not operate. But if it does, you don't need to have the main control panel turned on above the door. You can come to the fridge, put it onto 12 volt mode, select the power source you want to use, and the fridge will start chilling as a cool box. Turn the fridge off, press and hold the power button, and it will turn back off. Microwave works very much the same as your household microwave, though you do need to remember remove the microwave plate before travelling. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances again. However, the 240 electric ring at the back will only operate if you've got mains power coming into the van. Hob, grill and oven again, like I said, all household style appliances. Last thing we go through on this particular van is the toilet system in the bathroom. On the toilet you have an electric flush on top to flush your toilet system. You have a toilet full indicator light back here that's going to illuminate red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, or from the side of the van, you do need to make sure that toilet seat is back in the central position. If you want to use the toilet, you need to push the grate over to the left hand side so it allows the waste straight into the cassette. And if you're not using the toilet, have it in the central position so it stops smells coming up inside the van. And also it will allow you to remove that toilet cassette. If the toilet flap's open, it will actually stop you from removing the cassette, but if you do manage to remove it with it open, it will damage the cassette itself. So this is a Sterling Eccles Quartz. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye bye.